Hey yo, fat people are hard to kidnap. So if you're fat and you're all in this bitch, then grab your nutsack. Fat bitches don't feel left out, cause you can grab one of these skinny bitches and knock her ass out. Chubby love, showing ninja some, cause it's fat motherfuckers stay ready however they come. A hungry rapper, cannibal lyricist, I got hunks of him.
What is up, fuckers? How's your day going? Pretty good, I hope, but if not, it's about to get better because you are tuned in to an all-new episode of The Big Ass Podcast. Woo! So it is Tuesday, February 2nd, 2016, which means that's right, Woodchuck Chuckers, it's Groundhog Day. I guess the whistle pig down there in Podunk, PA, saw his shadow, so early spring is predicted by the most modern weather prediction machinery that we have. A friggin' prairie rat, a whistle pig, a woodchuck, a groundhog. That's right. We predict our seasons and our weather with groundhogs, and we solve election disputes by flipping coins. This is the pinnacle of modern American ingenuity. So the little Punxsutawney Phil apparently walked out of his little hole this morning and saw his shadow, which means that we are supposed to have an early spring. And it appears to already be here if you live in the western New York area. It was a gorgeous weekend that felt like it was April and not February, and the past 2 days, again, have been in the 40s, and I'm, again, loving it. It's very nice. So get your Speedos ready, kiddies, because summer must be right around the corner if this is the case. God bless global warming, and God bless our Lord and Savior, Alfred Q. Gore. I'm super cereal. I guess we should all start watching out for a man-bear-pig or something like that now. But anyways, how are y'all doing? My weekend was crazy. I just cannot go out and drink and party like a kid anymore. We tried it. We had some plans get changed on us Friday night. We met up with some friends at a bar, which we ended up going then to another bar, and then to a third bar. And I forgot, it's been literally years since I've done this, and you meet a bunch of weirdos when you go out and do stuff like that. It is not nearly as relaxing as sitting on the back porch or sitting in the backyard around a fire drinking beers. You're in public, and the public sucks. I don't like people, as a general rule. I get a few beers in me and I become tolerant, but holy shit, there are some fucking weirdos out there. And I was like a weirdo magnet on Friday. Got this like blithering drunk, insane people buying me shots and drinks, telling me how awesome I was. And then, of course, we somehow end up with... I'm sorry, excuse the dogs. Where was I? Yes. So, we end our night at a local drinkery called Ying's in Lancaster. And we're out with a couple friends, and one of them somehow knows a older Hispanic fellow. Looks like he could be running coke for the, MS-13 or anything like that. Just totally slicked out, big, huge chrome cross around his neck, leather jacket, the whole nine, blithering, drunken, half Spanish, but capping every sentence that he ends with, my nigga, regardless of who he was talking to. And so this dude somehow knew my buddy. We then became his new best friends. He's buying more drinks. So now we are at rolling around 4 a.m. Usually I'm getting up at 4 a.m., not staying up to it. So the lights come on, the bar's closing down, time to go get food. We roll over to Denny's. Somehow, Jose is now in the vehicle with us. So now we got this, I'd say late 40s, early 50s Latino gentleman riding shotgun with us to Denny's. We get our table in there, and the crew we're with is acting just absolutely ridiculous. Just the waitress wanted to fucking kill them all, or herself, or both. So we apologize to the waitress, then drop off Jose at my buddy's house for whatever fucking reason, and I don't know how he got home from there, teleportation or, his magic Puerto Rican carpet, but that's how that night ended. And when you don't get home till after 5 a.m., it's not like you can just sleep for 4 hours and bounce right back at this age. It's not like the good old days, kiddies. We were shot, me and the wife, all of Saturday. We were done. I mean, we slept till damn near 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't matter. It was dunsies. We had plans later that night to go see John Volby at Mooney's here in Akron. And so we slept, we napped, we did a little running around, and we had every intention of going to see Mr. Volby. Our tickets were bought, we went, and his show didn't start till 10:30, which seemed like a good thing at the time. Gave us plenty of time to rest up before the show. But no, we were hitting the wall hard. She had a headache. We saw him put in the first 45 minutes of the show before he took his little halftime break. Hilarious as always. I mean, John Volby is a fucking riot if you got a chance to see him, which you can do. I believe it's February 26th. He's going to be in Lancaster at Eddie Ryan's, the little pub there on Central, doing another show. So for like the $15-20 it costs to go see him, it's really worth it. He is a Western New York icon. He's been doing this shit since the 70s, and it is just bloody hilarious. So I suggest you go check out Dr. Dirty. But we checked out on him at the halftime of his show, which was bringing us close to midnight, and it was over. But we ended up rolling back to Denny's after that just to get some food in us, and so that was back-to-back Denny's nights, which puts the amount of times I've been to Denny's in the last year at 2. But it's actually not bad food. I forgot that it's not terrible, especially late-night grub, better than hitting the fast food joints. So we Denny'd it up and went to bed and slept like bricks until Sunday morning. So yeah, the whole partying like a child, going out, closing bars down, is just not fun anymore. Like, I don't know what the hell the point of it is. It sucks. I would so much rather be around a bonfire or, playing cards or a board game. That is no fun. It's expensive, except when somehow every other drink you get is getting purchased by someone else. It's still bizarre to me what the hell happened. But all in all, it was a good time. Glad we did that, got that out of our systems. We'll wait another 5 years, try it again, and, see how, we got to take a week off work after we do something like that. But speaking of drinking, what am I drinking today? I am enjoying Saranac S'more Porters. So let me crack this bad boy open. There we go. And let me take the first sip. Ooh. Wow. I like it. I'm really getting into porters. I know I said that a couple podcasts ago, but smooth. It's again the winter beers, man. That is fantastic. Definitely has that graham cracker and then that like sweet marshmallow taste to it. You're not gonna drink a 6-pack of these, but 1 or 2, which I plan on doing here. Wow, I like that. So there's my recommendation this week, kiddies. Go on out and get yourself a 6-pack of Saranac S'more Porters. It's a tasty brew.
Danger zone.
Yes, the world is a danger zone. This is your Zika virus update. So, my flagship disease, the Zika virus, continues to make headlines. The World Health Organization declares the Zika virus a global emergency. How sweet is that? This means Zika is in the same concern level as Ebola worldwide. That is some fucking exclusive company. I mean, it's not AIDS, but I'll take it. Zika and Ebola, we're good. That's some high praise from the World Health Organization, ranking us up there with the old Ebola. Apparently, the World Health Organization Director General Margaret Chan called Zika an, quote, extraordinary event. Zika constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. WHO expects Zika to, quote-unquote, spread explosively I'm not spreading explosively, folks. I'm working out. I'm trying to contract, but, this is what they're saying, not me. So it's going to spread explosively across the Americas this spring or summer. So that's fantastic. My name is going to just stay out there. Keep it in the news. Keep it on the top of your search results and your search engines and your facey spaces and my books and whatever you're into. So that's great. So I don't know. Maybe I should just change the name of my podcast to the Zika Virus Podcast. It's going to be seen tenfold from what I'm finding now, if not more. And it's got a sweet tagline then. Come on. Welcome to the Zika Virus Podcast. Get infected. It's awesome. It writes itself. So, I don't know, maybe I'll change the old podcast name to the old virus name there and go from there. I don't know. It's an idea. Batting it around the old noggin. Either way, my disease is better than your disease. Any of you out there have a better disease named after you? Bring it to me. Otherwise, I'm king of the fucking viruses, and I'm going to wear that crown with pride. So, what else is the big news of the day? Yes, last night was the presidential Iowa caucus of 2016. And for whatever reason, I watched the CNN coverage of this snooze fest. And I ended up falling asleep on the couch during said historic event. After kind of watching the coverage, they never explained what the hell a caucus is or why Iowa does it. So I did a little research and found this as the birth of the U.S. caucus. Apparently it dates back to the 1760s. This quote comes from 1763 from John Adams, and he writes, "The caucus club meets at certain times in a large house. The whole club meet in a large room. They smoke tobacco until you cannot see from one end to the other of the room, and they also drink ale. They then choose a moderator who puts questions to the vote regularly and chooses civil representatives for the town." So I don't know. It was basically just a group of people coming to some sort of consensus on what leaders to bring in, and I believe that the caucus derives from the Latino word caucus, so that the government doesn't cock us. We go and have these little meetings. So we don't want to get fucked by the government. We gotta go to the old caucus to not get cocked. So apparently there's 99 counties, 99 caucuses, or caucus. Since 1972, Iowa caucus is the first major electoral event of the nominating process for that year. And apparently 43% of the time, the Democrat that wins the Iowa caucus ends up being your nominee on that side. And then even 50% of the time, the Republican ends up sitting there on your ballot come election day in November. So that's what that is. That's what a caucus is. I think it might have also been called a circus with the way shit ended up. Surprisingly enough, I awoke to see a Ted Cruz victory speech. So the polls had Trump ahead by as much as like 12 points. I think maybe his little no-show there to debate, his weird little grandstanding at the Trump show kind of turned some people off. But you got Cruz, Trump, Rubio appear to be now the big three on the Republican side, and Hillary and Uncle Bernie were at a dead heat, I guess up until sometime this afternoon. Hillary won 5 of 5 coin flips to settle some disputed votes, and so she gets the official win in Iowa for the Dems. So like I said, we got a woodchuck predicting our weather, and we settle debate discussion on voting irregularities by tossing the old coin in the air. I mean, the NFL can't get it fucking right in overtime, but we're going to do it to decide who the next presidential candidate's going to be. Bang up job, Iowa. I like it. You're at the forefront of modern science with your coin flippery. So you got New Hampshire, you got South Carolina next, I believe, and I guess Trump's pulling really well in both their states. But who knows? There's a cruise missile coming. We shall see. And I guess Hillary's looking good there too. But who the fuck knows? It's all bullshit. Now we should try to flip a coin in November too and see what happens. And that's how we get our next president. Works out just as well. At least we'll let him have the first chance to score in overtime. I don't know. Moving along. Let me take a sip of the old beer here before we hit sports. Very nice. Oh, I like it. I do like it. So it was basically All-Star Weekend for the NHL and NFL. And the NHL, at least they made it entertaining. One with the new format with those little 3-on-3 tourneys, that was fun. And because of the hulking giant that is Jon Scott, your captain of the Pacific All-Stars, nets 2 goals and makes Gary Bettman eat his own balls afterwards. That was fun. Apparently, good old Jon Scott, the giant 6'8", 280-pound wrecking ball that is hockey player, got voted in as a joke by drunken Canadians, I can only guess. I guess that's just Canadians. So they were hopped up on maple syrup and Molson's, and they all thought they would flood the NHL voting process with the least skilled player in the league's name, Jon Scott. The NHL didn't like this. The team didn't like this, tried to deal him to the minors so that he couldn't show up at their prestigious event, because we all know it's like a coronation, the old NHL All-Star Game. You can't sully that with a different style of athlete that the fans want to see, or at least sarcastically want to see. Forgetting that this is entertainment, they got their balls in a bunch and tried to screw Scott over. Scott shows up. Not only does he show up, he fucking scores 2 goals and wins MVP of the game. Wins himself an SUV. Gets himself a nice check, $1 million. So, dude, he's the fucking people's champ. That is tits. Jon Scott is the real big-ass dude of the week. I'm gonna steal everything from Louis J. Gomez. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And I always like these goons anyways. Like, my 2 favorite players that I ever watched play hockey are Rob Ray and Matthew Barnaby. And they are far from the most skilled players ever play in the NHL. But they were both fun to watch, and why not? It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. It's entertainment. Sorry that the best skaters and the best goal scorers weren't there. Fans wanted to see this big old behemoth putz around in a fun little, tourney thing on the weekend. He got to do it, and he proved you all wrong. So, fuck the NHL for having no sense of humor and, forgetting the key is that they exist solely for the enjoyment of the fans. Without the fans and what they want, there is no hockey. There's no need for men to be skating around or throwing a ball around or anything. Sport is purely entertainment with no practical purpose whatsoever outside of that. So, NHL got what they deserved. Jon Scott shoved it up their ass. Good for him. I like it. The NFL also had what they considered their all-star game. The NFL Pro Bowl, which had, I think, roughly 50% replacement players in it because nobody that's in the Super Bowl and nobody that's any good, for the most part, wanted to fly to Hawaii. Fuck, even the coach, Mike McCarthy, had a quote-unquote stomach bug and didn't fly to Hawaii to coach the whatever All-Stars, the Jerry Rices or some shit. So I'm assuming that was a snooze fest. I didn't even bother turning that on. All I saw the next morning is that Richard Sherman tried to RKO the Bloodline Clay Matthews, and Matthews kind of just shoved him out of the way, wasn't having that nonsense. But I don't know. I think Team Irvin won. I saw our boy Tyrod threw a touchdown, but also added like 3 interceptions to his stat line. So he went out there on the national stage and put on a shitty showing. So good for him. I don't think like a format change is needed. Like, why not we do like some sort of a young stars game? Have like rookies versus second year guys. Something like that to put the new faces out there. Let people see them. They're going to try a lot more. And it would be a lot more fun. Also, the skills competition. Back in the day when they did the skills competition, I know that Robert Smith blew his knee out and quarterbacks were throwing their arms out and shit. But it was fun to watch. And again, it's what we want. It's not what they want. So it's boring. But they could do some things to spice it up if they really chose to. If the biggest news out of Pro Bowl weekend is that Richard Sherman attempted Randy Orton's finishing move on Clay Matthews, then you know how exciting that game was. But there was a real football game yet to be played this season. Super Bowl 50, pitting your Carolina Panthers versus the Denver Broncos. Carolina opened up the line at 3.5-point faves. They are currently sitting at 6-point favorites, so get in there if you want. The over and under is 45 points. I'd probably go and bet the over on this one. But 6:30 this Sunday, your Super Bowl kicks off. We're going to have a full recap of that game after the fact. All the commercials, the halftime show, the game itself. I'll probably get into that a bit. I'm assuming we'll be discussing Super Bowl MVP Cam Newton at that point in time. But we will see. Because that's going to be the first official Spiritual Light podcast. The bang-up, drunken, guest-filled extravaganza. So we're going to be recording that Sunday pregame, during the game, postgame, and I'll be slapping that up by next Wednesday. So hope y'all tune in and check that out. Hopefully it's not a complete clusterfuck, and we make something entertaining out of it. Yeah, so I got to say, I'm disappointed in all y'all. One person voted in the Twitter poll as I'm trying to settle the debate between Lethal Weapon and Die Hard. You can't make America great again without participating in the voting process. How are we going to settle this debate if no one votes? So, get out there and vote, you fuckers. But I did have a chance to watch Lethal Weapon 2 on Saturday, I believe. And I can't. It just reaffirmed everything I knew about the series. I mean, such great quotable lines when Murtaugh is getting attacked in his addition to the house, kills two dudes with the nail gun, and then he's just like, nailed them both. Classic. Those kind of cheesy lines are what we need in action police comedies, which is what I'm going to classify Lethal Weapon as from now on, an action police comedy. Riggs got one of my favorite little rants in the entire series in this movie when he's in the South African consulate office, and he's like, I'm surprised you haven't heard fuck. You know what I can't do is Australian / Martin Riggs accent. But the quote goes, I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. You know, I get a bad reputation. Sometimes I just go a little nuts. Like now. And then he goes, eeny, meeny, miny, hey, Mo! And shoots the fish tank and it explodes. Awesome scene. Not an awesome rendition of the lines I just did for you, though. But it's a classic. I still 100% behind my vote that Lethal Weapon is the superior series. So get on over to @BeeritualLight on Twitter. That is BERITUALLITE. And vote in that poll. Let me know what you think. Your votes do count, America. And I want. You folks also did not voice your opinion on what I should get for my next tattoo. So, I've made the decision for myself. And no, it is not dick on the forehead. You had your choice to vote for that. You didn't. So, I am getting the Mighty Ringmaster, the second Joker's card, on my right shoulder. Nice black and gray work is going to be done in a couple weeks. So, I'll be adding some new ink to my carcass. And my wife will be getting a lovely stained glass owl. So, that should be pretty when that's done. So, we got that going on. That's fun. Oh, I tried these new Mountain Dew Kickstarts this weekend. They had like blueberry, watermelon, blood orange. Like, I really like the original ones. Like the little cans. They have like the coconut water. They're like the pineapple one is really tasty. These are all just like horribly sweet, nasty, fake tasting things. So I don't recommend you try them. They're not bad. They're like 60 calories if you want to just knock down a quick energy drink, but I thought the flavors all kind of sucked. I'd go for the oldie time ones. Generally, I do like Kickstart. I am a fan of the Mountain Dew products, so yeah. But no, the Kickstarts and blueberry, watermelon, and blood orange stink, and I don't like them. What else? Tonight, we return to Mooney's for DJ Trivia. I once again proved my prowess last week and dubbed myself the Aaron Rodgers of our trivia. We were down big in the fourth quarter, see the game split up into 4 rounds, trailing heavy. Last question, double or nothing the entire game. We bet it all, put it all on the line, and I threw a Hail Mary up there, and I somehow recognized Claude Monet's face with no other clues other than that he was some sort of artist. And I pulled that out of my ass and boosted us up to second place. We win $20, and we're back again today. So right now you can add that to my list of names. I am Paulie Z. I am the leader of the Big Ass Crew, and I am now the Aaron Rodgers of Bar Trivia. So I'm fighting Luis J. Gomez for how many nicknames I can give myself. Oh, and getting back to Luis J. Gomez, I'm sure most of you are not familiar with him, but we're pretty sure that Jose dude was his father. His dad did not get stabbed to death in Brooklyn. He's alive and well in Buffalo, and yeah, an interesting feller none the least. So that's what's going on tonight. That's the week. That's what we got. Let's do some plugs here and wrap things up. As always, please check out Emily's A to Z Crafts on Facebook for your Valentine's Day and St. Patty's Day needs and anything else crafty or edible you wish. Hit her up. She is a candy maker, baker extraordinaire, crochet master, and a hell of a seamstress. So if you need any crafty projects done, you don't have time, or you don't think you have the skill, hit my wife up on Facebook. It's Emily A to Z Crafts, and let her know what you want. She'll shoot you a price on the timeline. You can get that done. That'll be fantastic. If you see it on Pinterest, she can do it. Also, a shout out to Josh and Candy of Happy Guru Skincare. Happy Guru Loves Me is a company that provides all-natural, chemical-free skincare products. HappyGuruLovesMe.com for more information. And last but not least, the Tattoo Den. Dennis, our man. The man is going to be putting that there ringmaster on my arm. The one who's going to be giving my wife her birthday tattoo of that sweet owl that he drew up. Tattoo Den, located on Transit Road in Elma, New York. Hit up Tattoo Den on Facebook to reach out to Dennis. Let him know Paulie Z sent you, and he will appreciate that. He gets booked up quick. So if you want to get some ink therapy, hit him up. Let him know I sent him your way. Once again, the first Spiritual Enlightenment recording is this Sunday. Super Bowl 50 will be the maiden voyage of that particular venture. So I hope next week y'all tune in and see how that turned out for me. As always, look for me on Twitter at Beeritualite, BeeritualLite, Beeritualite on Twitter, or the Spiritual Enlightenment Podcast Network on Facebook. Go in there, look me up, leave a comment, questions. If you want to come sit and have a chat on the pod and cast pods with me, we can also work that out. So get on there, hit me up, let me know what you think. Let me hear your opinions of how this show is evolving, what I can do better, what I can do worse. I don't know why you want me to do worse, but maybe you hate me. So hit me up. And until then, thanks for listening, man. Be well, stay safe, stay alive, and tune in next week. And get infected with the Zika virus. Peace.
Down at the crossroads on a hellfire hot summer day. I was real thirsty and my throat was dry and the sun was beating down in my face. Well, I was about to have a heat stroke, it must have been 1,000 degrees, when a spooky old man with some beer in his hands appeared in front of me. I just sold my 6'6".